Goodbye, Celia. What we had was special. Today I'm playing more of The Price of Flesh, and I've been really curious to see just all the different ways that Miss Celia can murder me. Or maybe I murder her. Or maybe I murder her husband. I'm not really sure. I haven't looked at the walkthrough yet, but I will be using a walkthrough, and I will be getting all of her endings. Hopefully. Because as much as I like Miss Celia, I want to see her like this. No, not like that. Editor me. Thank you. So I've already gotten a few of her endings. Oh my god. I only got 2? Ah! Aw, man.
It's gonna be a long night.
Aw, man. I only got 2? There's one that we run away together? Best friends! Hey, editor, maybe we will see that picture that you put up. Let's see if we can survive the horror and also maybe have a good time. Actually, no. There's probably not going to be very many good times had here. Where? Ooh. Whoa. Where am I? I looked down, horrified to see only shackles. I couldn't see anyone else. Hello? Oh dear. Suddenly, a cheerful voice rang through speakers placed around the room. Good evening and welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, have I got a treat for you. She's fresh, healthy, and alert. I'm sure she'll be versatile enough to fulfill any of your needs. The voice chuckled softly. Now I'm sure you all know the drill. I'll start asking questions and you lovely folks can begin bidding at any time. Oh no! Get on with it. Shut up unless you're bidding. Ha! You sound like a hag. You little shoot. I bet you can't afford anything here. Get back to... Now. Shouldn't we save our passion for the main event? For a moment, the voices went silent. Shall we ask our item some questions and begin the bidding? Yes, please. Haha, excellent. Let's begin. We'll start the bidding at 100. I wondered briefly about what it was even 100 of. I decided I didn't want to know what I was worth. Here's our first question. What are you doing here? I waited a moment, realizing he was addressing me. How the heck should I know? I don't know. Am I supposed to know what's going on? 110. Wonderful. Now, do you consider yourself to be athletic? No. There's no point in lying. Not really. Here's a fun one. Are you scared? Yeah. What the heck kind of questions are these? I doubted that I could hide the shaking in my legs anyway. Fine. Yeah. 130. Okay, let's see. How much money do you make? I get by. 140. Good. Okay. How well do you follow instructions? As long as you, tell them to me a couple times, because I have a really bad memory and I forget stuff. Oh, 150. Oh, this one's interesting. Are you a virgin? No. Don't worry, just a couple left. Oh, what, you guys aren't going to say anything to that? Fine. Do you enjoy camping? No. I stood there, stunned for a moment. What does that have to do with any of this? I have to do one where I just refuse to answer all of them, but I hate camping. I don't like camping. I looked down. I'd rather be camping than here, though. All right. You're doing wonderfully. Last question. Who would you like to go home with? What? I looked at the windows across from me in the dark room. I like the blue window. That smooth guy sounded cool. I thought about the voices I'd heard. The voice behind the blue window seemed a little softer than the others. He's probably the worst, isn't he? I suppose if I had to choose a safer option, I pointed to the blue window. I heard her... Oh, it's a lady? Oh dear, oh no. I heard her light laugh. Oh, that's a lady? That's not too surprising, considering your options. I heard an obnoxious snort. You sound so full of yourself. You should relax and let someone fill you with something else for once. Ha ha ha. 160. 260. What the F? What's wrong? Did Daddy not give you a big enough allowance? Her laugh was quiet and cruel this time. That's what I thought. I hear 260. What you got, green guy? Anyone else? Haha, sold! To the elegant lady in blue. We'll prepare the shipment to send out with you right away. Thank you very much for coming. Shipment? What did he mean? I felt a sharp jab in my ankle. Well, I tried to bend down to inspect the pain, but I just crumbled to the floor. There was a pain in my leg, and I couldn't move. Ow! I was seeing doubled and trying to speak. Owie! But I passed out. Ooh, my head hurts. Uh-oh, status. Oh no. Oh yeah, I forgot this is a survival game. I better be saving. Oh dear. Oh no. What is this? What does this mean? I don't know what that means. I slowly opened my eyes and pried my face off the hard surface it was stuck to. A desk? I tried to pull away from the desk, making a loud clang. Handcuffs. Each of my hands was handcuffed to a desk leg, keeping me painfully seated to the chair and bent low. And my clothing, I didn't recognize it. Finally. Ah, pretty. I have a feeling that although I think she's very pretty, that I'm going to be terrified of this woman soon. I gasped at the face of the woman looking down at me. Who? I don't know what they drugged you with, but I was starting to worry you'd just lay there drooling forever. Are you awake now? Good. My name is Celia. You may call me Celia or ma'am. She stepped a bit closer, eyeing me up and down. Something about her sharp gaze sent a shiver down my spine. This is the part where you introduce yourself.
Hi there, my name is Espoir. Can we be friends?
My name is Espoir. I didn't see the point of resisting in this position. For a moment, she just kept looking at me. Appraising. Good. She walked in front of the desk and tapped it gently with her nail. You were very expensive, so I'm expecting you to perform. Just do as you're told. It isn't that hard. If you're good, you get to live. I'll bring you food and take care of you. If you're not, then you suffer. Simple. Suddenly, the sound of a phone alert dinged. She turned around and started rapidly tapping on her phone. Flippin' moron. My gaze wandered around the old dirty room. It definitely looked like it was abandoned. My eyes locked onto a dark stain by my feet. What the F? That was definitely blood. My attention was snapped away from the stained carpet as I heard her hiss a string of curses under her breath. All right. Ma'am, apparently I have to go babysit some man-children at work. I have to go. Wait, I think there's been some kind of mistake. I didn't sign up for this. I was kidnapped. That's not my problem. Now shut up. I'll be back later. She stepped towards the door. Well, you're just gonna leave me like this? I pulled at the handcuffs. If you're a good little mouse, then maybe we'll get you somewhere more comfortable next time, She pulled open the door. And then she was gone. Ma'am! Baby. Daisy, come on now, baby girl. I listened to the click of her heels on the floor disappear outside. Daisy, please. The long chains each led to a desk leg and kept me painfully bent over the table. I tried to lift the table. Something's stuck. I tried to look below, but the cuffs kept me in place. I think the desk is bolted to the floor or something. I took in several deep breaths. This is going to hurt. I retched against the cuffs again. Oh dear, oh what did I do? Oh, what did I do? The cuffs cut deep into my skin, pulling it back. Oh, I put in all my strength. Ooh. I heard a loud crack and fell backwards. The desk fell backwards on top of me. I scrambled to get out from it and see what I'd done. The cuffs fell to my sides as I looked at the damage. The feet of the desks were indeed bolted to the floor, and they still were. The desk itself snapped off from the legs. Cool. I breathed a sigh of relief that turned into a hiss of pain. I really mangled my wrists. But now at least I'm free. Nice. Let's see, hold on a second. Search the area. Drawers. Yeah, drawers. I started at one end of the room and started going through everything. Every shelf and drawer was filled with dusty, discolored paper. Wherever this place is, people haven't been here in a while. I kept shuffling through everything. Oh! At the back of a filing cabinet. Something small and metal. Oh, hello. Nice. A key. I quickly put it in my pocket. This is bound to come in handy. All right, let's get out of here. I tried to open the door. The handle wouldn't turn. It clacked as I tried pulling it harder, hoping maybe it was just stuck. It's definitely locked. I examined the handle. It has one of those tiny holes in it to unlock it in emergencies, but I have nothing small enough to fit in there. I poked through the blurry glass, trying to see outside my prison. Then I tapped the glass. I looked back behind me at the metal cabinets. I could probably break this glass. The faint hum of the lights was interrupted by the light tapping of someone approaching the door. My heart rate jumped. Heck!
Oh, hi!
A second later, she entered the room. She stopped dead, seeing the overturned desk. She quickly focused on me and my obvious lack of restraints. Her stance instantly changed, and she grabbed something on her hip. Fight! 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 This is my chance. You should have grabbed that stapler. I lunged at her, swinging the long chain still attached to my wrist. That's a good idea. Then I fell to the ground, screaming. Oh, there's probably something on my wrist or something. The explosive pain was radiating from 2 needles lodged in my torso. Nice try, little mouse. She moved behind my writhing form and replaced my cuffs with a smaller set. If you think you can pull one over me that easily, well, she shoved me lightly with her foot. I suppose you'll get the idea soon enough. You should hope you're a fast learner. She straightened her clothing, satisfied with my defeated state. Now, we're going to play a little role-playing game. Let's see how fast you can catch on.
3,000 in a critical! Thunder, dark out critical! Thunder! Thunder! Thy art slain!
She took only a moment to catch her breath and pat her clothing. Good. You did well. I heard her pacing for a few moments. There. She walked back to me and yanked my bag off abruptly. Ma'am, I don't even have words for what just happened, but I still hate you less than strayed. I kept still as she stared at me sharply. She seemed to be mulling over some decision. Suddenly, she stood up straighter and walked to the door. I think we're done here, for now. Her gaze dropped to my handcuffs, and she chewed her lip for a moment. I tried to appear as non-threatening as possible. I guess I'll take those. She roughly shoved me down and grabbed the cuffs. Stay still. She popped open the metal restraints and took them. I can't have you choking yourself out with them. Do not make me regret that.
Okay.
Without any of the words, she headed to the door and slipped out. I heard the click of a lock and her quick steps fading away. I sat up, wincing. Can I have some food, maybe? Well, I can sort of move around at least now. I rubbed the red marks on my wrists and thought about what to do next. Anything on the floor? Wait, what's that? I saw something shine on the floor in front of the door. I crawled over to pick it up. Ooh, yeah, it looks like a hairpin. Nice. Maybe she dropped it on her way out. I pushed the pin into the hole in the door handle. After some nudging, I managed to get a click. I turned the handle. It's open. Nice. I peeked out of the room. A long hallway ended in what appeared to be a sort of lounge area. More cabinets and papers littered the place. Past the lounge area was a door that looked like it went to another office. However, my attention was much more focused on what appeared to be an elevator. This could be my ticket out of here. Alright, door at the end of the lounge. I walked through the lounge to the office door. No window, can't see inside, but there might be stairs inside or some kind of way out. I rattled the doorknob. Of course. It's locked. What about that key? Does that key work? I pressed the key into the lock of the door at the end of the lounge. To my surprise, it easily went all the way in. Holy crap! This is the right key! I slowly opened the door. I tentatively entered the room. Definitely an office. It's cleaner, though. Someone's been in here. I stopped in place as I noticed something out of place. A picture of a man, printed out and blown up. And darts in it. Celia must use this room, and she must really hate whoever that man is. Something about this room made me feel really nervous, but she might keep something useful in here. Go to sleep. Just go to sleep in her office. Search the desk. Absolutely. The desk looks recently used. I checked the desk drawers. Papers, makeup, money. I briefly considered the cash, but money isn't going to help me here. Oh, wait. At the back, there was a bottle of expensive-looking brandy and an empty flask. I pulled the bottle out. Yeah, sure, why not? I think you'd need it. I carefully opened the bottle. I tilted it back and swallowed a mouthful. Yeah! I jerked back slightly as the burn spread down my throat. That stuff is strong. It was somehow a little comforting, though. Oh, no, don't drink any more. I placed the bottle where I found it. Whoa! In a drawer, by itself, there was a black device. Oh, a taser. Nice! This is definitely a taser. It's the kind you'd have to touch someone with. I tentatively pressed the button. Nothing. I checked over it and popped the back open. No batteries. I huffed in annoyance. Well, I'm still keeping it. Ah! Hold on a second. I know where there are some batteries. Let's see. Go to the small office. I'm so tired. Uh-oh. Hungry. Oh, no. I found a vaguely comfortable position and laid down. No! 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 Oh, no! I was startled awake by the sound of the door opening. It was her again, and she didn't look happy. Uh-oh. As she walked in, I could tell something was wrong. Her calculating expression sent a shiver up my neck. I want those batteries out of that drawer! Ah! Well, she stepped closer. It seems you've been busy. What is she talking about? I began to sweat. Stand up straight. I wasn't sure if it was fear or hesitation, but I failed to move for a moment. Ah!
Break yourself, fool!
My heart immediately began pounding as I saw her slowly pull out a pistol. I stood up straight. What did I do? You drank my beer! Strip. Oh, okay. I balked. You know, I would probably do that without you pointing a gun to me, lady. I mean, I'm in no position to do anything else. What? I don't like repeating myself. She aimed the gun at my legs. Oh no! Crap, crap, crap! I shakily undid the buttons on the blazer I had been placed in at some point before waking up here. These aren't even my clothes. As I pulled the jacket off, I paused for a split second in horror. The stuff in my pockets. I threw the blazer on the floor, hoping she didn't notice my pause. I squeezed my eyes shut and pulled off the shirt. She knows. She has to know. Dread was weighing my limbs down. I undid the pressed formal pants. I kept shaking and sweating. I tried to concentrate on my task. Don't think about the gun. Don't think about the hand holding it. I froze. She's looking right into my eyes. She can tell. She knows everything. I flinched as she began to speak. I didn't tell you to stop. All that's left is my underwear. With a tilt of her head and a flick of the gun, the message was crystal clear. The fear from my life kept me from any shame until this point. But as I slowly pulled off my underwear, the exposure hit me like a wave. She kept her eyes on me as she bent down to pick up the blazer. I tried to cover myself. Hands down. I stiffly complied, feeling my face getting hotter. I really shouldn't be concerned about my nudity at a time like this. Yeah. I chewed my lip. A new wave of fear took my attention away from my embarrassment as she rummaged through the pockets. You have been busy. My blood turned to ice as she dropped the blazer and its contents. I tried to think of an excuse. Ah! Well, nuts. I fell to the ground, screaming. Did she? Ah! Pain exploded from a bullet hole below my knee. Now, the thing about shooting a person in the leg, so I've heard, is that they still could potentially bleed out to death, so it's not a non-lethal shot, ma'am. I crumpled around it, watching blood begin to pour from it. My mind was racing through incomplete thoughts.
Ah, miss!
My panic was interrupted by a kick, forcing me flat on my back. I screamed again as she stepped on the fresh wound. What is my status? What have you done to me? Oh, my health is still pretty good. I'm starving, though. It's a shame you had to be so much trouble. You're actually pretty cute when all you're wearing is blood. Ah! Ow. Another explosion in my shoulder. Yeah, well, I'm gonna look at your booty. So there. Miss? My ears were ringing so loudly, I couldn't tell if I was still screaming or not. Panic blurred my vision. Is she talking? I think I'm begging now. I can't hear myself. There's blood everywhere, all over my skin. I tried to focus. Did she take off my clothes so they wouldn't get bloody? Ugh. I stared down the barrel of the gun and saw her finger move. No! Ah! Well, nuts. But I still don't hate you as much as Strayed. Let's try something slightly different. Alright, I'm gonna be extra obedient. Maybe she'd like that.
Hi, my name is Espoir. Can we be friends?
Stay here, I guess. There doesn't seem to be anything I can do. Stay here, I guess. I stayed in the room at the desk.
Daisy, what's the matter, baby?
I tried to keep my mind from wandering. What the heck does this woman, Celia, even want with me? Why is she doing this? My forehead hit the desk with a light thud. There's nothing I can do to figure any of this out. I was startled by the sound of the door opening. I stayed completely compliant. You can't be mad at me for anything, lady. It was her again, and she didn't look happy. I instinctively moved back in the corner of the room. Relax. You're just keeping me company today.
Oh.
Come on. She turned and motioned for me to follow. Now.
Are we gonna do friend things?
She disappeared outside the door. Why do I always have a problem with that word? I tentatively stepped outside. A long hallway ended in what appeared to be a sort of lounge area. More cabinets and papers littered the place. Past the lounge area was a door that looked like it went to another office. However, my attention was much more focused on what appeared to be an elevator. Could that be a way out? Pretty. She collapsed onto one of the dusty lounge chairs. I stood there, dazed from the bizarre situation. Sit. I jumped slightly at the abrupt command. Sit on the floor? I moved quickly to an empty spot on the floor in front of her and sat down. It was dusty and dirty, but I barely noticed. Good. Just sit there. Oh, right. You're probably hungry by now, right?
Yes, ma'am, I'm starving.
To my embarrassment, I perked up like a dog. That's what I thought. Oh no, that smile. Oh no, ma'am. Ma'am! That's what I thought. She moved her coat and rustled through a plastic bag I hadn't noticed before. She held 2 items out to me. Oh my God! A bottle of water and some kind of wrapped deli sandwich. I gingerly accepted them. Seeing the food awakened my hunger so quickly that it startled me. She seemed to sink into her chair. She looked exhausted. Aw, who has hurt you, ma'am? Who has hurt you? Even though you shot me in the face, but, you know. I couldn't wait any longer. I immediately opened the water and drank. Whew! I tried to eat carefully and quietly. I realized too late that she was aware I was staring at her. What is that look for?
I'm sorry, ma'am, but you're very pretty. You're very pretty, and I like you a lot better than Strayed.
Why would you want to relax, here?
I'm sorry.
She narrowed her eyes at me. No, my home filled with 20-year-old doe-eyed cooks and cleaners and whatever the F else is not more comfortable. My disgusting piece of crap husband runs the place like he's some kind of discount Hugh Hefner. Oh. Want me to kill him for you? I mean, I'm practically a servant at this point. I watched her nails dig into the armrests until she suddenly let go and collapsed back onto the chair. I don't even care that he fluffs them. Just fluffs them all night long like pillows. She let out a half-bitter laugh. Saves me the trouble. Aw, is that guy that she hates her husband and that steals all her cool ideas? Aw, Celia, aw. It's their faces. Subservient, mewling sheep, always looking at the floor. They're so young, but they're already broken. Someone bought their dignity, and they gave it up just like that. Without a fight. It disgusts me. Oh, yeah, you shoot me in the face when I try to escape, when I break a literal table to try to escape. You're not impressed? I flinched as her sharp gaze flicked back to mine. I couldn't help but gulp at the parallels between her sheep and myself. Yeah, that doesn't sound that comfortable. She gestured sarcastically at our surroundings. Hence my arrival here. She closed her eyes and leaned back. I briefly looked around the room with a jolt of adrenaline. She's hardly paying attention. Don't even think about it. Oh, I wasn't, ma'am. I wasn't. I froze. Can she read my mind? We're going to have a simple, relaxing evening. I'm not going to hear my husband's voice, and you're not going to give me any trouble. All right. I slowly let the air out of my lungs. Maybe I should just enjoy the break. Nice. That only healed me 5? Ugh. I returned my attention to the deli sandwich. I don't know if it was the hunger, but it tasted like the best sandwich I had ever had. I almost began to relax when I heard the buzz of a phone. For flip's sake. Aw, she's just trying to relax, dude. She growled as she pulled out her phone. For a split second, I felt sorry for whoever... Uh-oh, boss music's playing. I'd better save. For a split second, I felt sorry for whoever was on the other line, until I remembered my own position. No, I'm not home. I'm not at the office either. What do you want? It's none of your gosh darn business, Harold. Fine. Yeah, I'll be there by 7. Aw, I flinched as she turned off the phone and fumed. Come on. Aw. She motioned for me to get up. I don't want to think about men for another second. I recoiled from her sudden outburst. Just follow me. I got up and followed her angry pace back to my small prison. I swear I could feel her anger in waves radiating from her body. I don't want that anger to be directed my way. I obeyed and heard the door slam behind me. I was sweating. I think I dodged a bullet. Shh. I slumped to the floor. Alone again. No, I mean it. I'm being completely obedient. Knock, knock. I was startled awake, my heart pounding. Ma'am, I'm kind of starving. If you could, bring me a buffet or something. She entered the room briskly, and I realized I had flinched backward. She definitely noticed. Feeling a bit jumpy still. I suppose that's only natural. I noticed then that she was carrying a cardboard box. Is it full of food? Well, there's no need to be so skittish. I was thinking about you all day at work today.
Oh, I'm flattered, ma'am.
And I decided to bring you a little treat.
Treat?
Please be an actual treat and not like a bad kind of treat, because I don't like those kind of treats. I flinched as she stepped closer. Here. She placed the box on my lap. There was something tense in her voice. Something that made me scared to open the box. I looked up at her. Go on. I that word again. Oh, that word is torturing me more than she is. Tentatively lifted the top. Boss music playing for donuts. It's just a box of donuts. And they smell good. My stomach growled.
I can eat these? Thank you so much, ma'am.
Well, of course you can, Mouse. They're for you.
Thank you.
Even though you kind of trapped me in here and, kind of did some things while digging your heels into my back. But thank you, I guess. I trembled slightly as I took a donut from the box. And I took a bite. It's good. It just tastes like a normal donut. I began to register how hungry I was and took another bite. I almost forgot about her presence for a second before I glanced up and saw her intense stare. She was focused on me like a laser. I was too hungry to worry about being watched. Is this gonna lead to an ending where I'm so hungry that I'll eat anything and these donuts are actually a bad ending because that's what usually happens in these games? I silently ate the donut and swallowed. After I finished it, I glanced up to her. I didn't tell you to stop. I glanced back down at the box. She doesn't expect me to eat all of these, does she? You're hungry enough to finish off that box. I grabbed another one and started eating. How does it taste? I swallowed my current mouthful. Why are you making that face, ma'am? Good. Describe. Here's my theory in this split second. I think she's poisoned these donuts, and she's trying to see how fast the poison works and if it's detectable so she can use it on her husband. Well, actually, if that is the case, then I'm very happy that I could get her out of a loveless marriage through murder donuts. Describe it. I shivered. It's sweet? The icing is smooth and the dough is really cakey and soft. I had no idea what I was doing. I gathered a bit of courage between bites. Why? Shut up and eat. Yes, ma'am. I must have looked as confused as I felt because she sighed and began to answer. They were on my desk this morning. Oh, she poison testing me? I'm sure it was that snake, Jennifer. Little fake congratulations note on it and everything. I made sure to keep eating, but I still couldn't make sense of the story. I'm not sure Oh. Ignorance really is bliss, isn't it? You don't get to where I am by eating whatever you want. If you're not an old man, you've got to do a lot more than just be good at your job. That hardly counts for anything. I have to be flawless. Can't ruin your perfect figure with these donuts, can ya? I need to recognize sabotage for what it is. And I have to stay 2 steps ahead. I gulped and shakingly returned my attention to the pastries. A chocolate one next. I quickly picked out a chocolate donut, as instructed. She took a few deep breaths, watching me chew. Somehow, it seemed to calm her down. I kept eating the donut awkwardly as she stared. I got to the 4th donut, and I began to struggle. I was so hungry before, but now I'm starting to feel sick. I don't think I can eat any more. She studied me for a moment and bit her lip. 1 more. I breathed hard. I can do this. Is my hunger full at least? Oh yeah, it's full. Ooh. I slowly grabbed another donut and bit in. I struggled to keep it down. I was squirming slightly, trying to find a position that didn't hurt as much. I glanced up and saw that she seemed to be deeply enjoying the show. Ma'am? I just focused on the pastry and kept eating. There's a good little mouse. Ugh, my stomach. I've never thought I'd be so worried about overdoing a stat. Oh. That number should, go up more. Oh, that would be even horrible. I managed to stuff the last bit down and groan softly. My insides were aching. But Celia looked extremely satisfied. She walked to me and took the box. Not bad. I flinched slightly as she extended her hand. To my surprise, she just brushed a crumb from my face. I sat there, stunned, while my stomach lurched. I wish I could stay a little longer, but I could only afford a quick visit today. You understand, right? Just make the same noise as a pufferfish makes. I couldn't think straight. I really did feel sick. I'll be back soon. Ma'am? Still don't hate her as much as I hate Strayed. With that, she turned around and left, closing the door behind her. I laid down and waited to feel better. Can I go to sleep? I feel tired just reading that. Can I go to sleep? Can I go to sleep? Can I go to sleep? Oh, goodness. Uh-oh. Wait, what? Wait, what? I had a pounding headache. Where am I? I didn't recognize this room. How did I get here? Ma'am! Wow, it took you forever to wake up. That was supposed to be the weak dose. I tried to back away, but I couldn't. With a pang of terror, I realized I couldn't move. I looked down at my body and saw I was completely tied up with bright red rope. How do you feel? Be tough, be honest. My head hurts. Everything hurts. Knocked you out a little too hard, huh? That's what I get for buying drugs from the internet, I guess. Hopefully you'll perk up as we get busy. She pushed me from my slumped position onto my back. I couldn't do anything but fall. The intricate pattern of rope held my limbs together. Intricate pattern of rope? Oh no, is this that thing? The Japanese bondage thing? Ma'am! I tried to push down the rising panic in my chest. When did she even drug me? When was I sleeping? Here's the thing. I had a really crappy day today. Ma'am? Ma'am? Daisy! Daisy, you've got stuff all over you. What have you been doing? Baby girl, what have you been doing? You've got stuff all over you. Honey, baby girl. I gasped as she sat down, straddling my waist. I didn't expect her to get this close. And this is what I bought you for. I jerked against my bindings as I saw her pull out an expensive-looking knife. Ma'am! Oh, don't worry. You don't have to do anything complicated all this time. It'll be really easy. Oh no! I still like her better than Strayed. I just need you to bleed for me. Ouch! I yelled in protest as she pressed the knife to the side of my face. I screamed more in fear than pain. I thought we were friends! The knife was so sharp that I didn't feel it as much as I expected to, but the panic tightening in my chest was only getting worse. See? It's not so bad. Daisy! Daisy, help! Daisy! Hey, girl. Hi. She held the knife to my face and caressed me. The blood on her fingers told me the knife really did cut in deep, despite the sensation. Ooh. You should see your face right now. You're so cute. Ouch! I strained against the ropes as she dipped the blade down to my collarbone and slid it through the thin layer of flesh there. Ow! I grunted and screamed, Owie! I know. She pressed the knife to my arm. It's okay. You scream all you want. I tried to grit my teeth as she kept pressing the knife into my skin. She moved it so slowly, going deeper. I couldn't hold it in. I screamed in earnest as the knife penetrated the muscle.
Owie!
Please, no more. She was panting softly. She ignored my plea and just picked another place to drag the knife over. Ow! Oh no, my poor health and my poor sanity. Oh, my health is a real trooper. Well, at least I'm not starving. I writhed, screaming and sweating as she kept making cut after cut. I couldn't keep focus. My body and mind were on fire. What is happening? Is this the drug she used on me? I wheezed as the pressure on my waist increased. Please don't shoot me in the face. Or put nails in my legs. I felt her weight lift from my body, and immediately my vision began to spot. The strange adrenaline and euphoria of the moment was giving way to an aching pain and hissing static in my ears. Aren't I, bleeding a lot? I tried to focus as I heard her shoes click. I can't... I slowly woke up, groaning in pain. Ugh, why does my mouth taste like fish? I must have passed out. I looked around the familiar room. Ugh, I'm back here. No. I said I was going to be ultra obedient. And that's what I'm going to do. I was startled by a low mechanical hum. After listening for a moment, I realized it must be the elevator. I moved to the corner of the room and waited. I could hear a voice. Wait. 2 voices? Uh-oh. They sounded angry. Shouting. One was definitely Celia, but the other sounded like a man. Uh-oh. I flinched back as they got closer. Ah! Oh no. The door flew open and a man barged in. What the heck is this? I couldn't seem to react fast enough as Celia pushed past him and grabbed me. While I was just barely registering the man in the doorway, I felt the blade of a knife press threateningly against my neck. Ah! Hey, Celia, I thought we were friends. I mean, I'll help you kill this guy if you want. I thought what we had was special. Not another step, Harold. I'm gonna stay quiet. Yeah, I said I was gonna be ultra obedient. I didn't dare make another sound. I could feel the knife shaking against my skin. Her body was pressed against my back. I could feel her breathing. She pointed the knife out to Harold. You stupid bastard! You ruin everything! Oh, I ruin everything. I give you all the freedom and time in the world to do whatever you want. And you fluff around in some condemned asbestos trap with some kind of homeless person? Hey, I'm not homeless. I'm just lower middle class. And what? Kidnapping, I guess? Shut up! He ignored her completely. What if someone found this? What if the media found this? Take another step and I'll kill her.
You don't need to do that, ma'am. Ma'am, you don't need to do that.
Celia, please. Do you really think I care if you get your blouse dirty? Thanks a lot, guy. My blood ran cold as I watched him take a step forward. He's not bluffing. You're going to clean this crap up, and we're going to go home. The knife wasn't pressed against my throat anymore, but she was clenching me close. Get out of the way, Celia. She was trembling. I mean, if she lets me go, what's he gonna do? He's probably gonna silence me anyway. Then she let me go and stepped away. I'm tired of cleaning up your messes.
No, Celia! What? Celia! I thought what we had was special.
Well, let's start at the beginning and get shot down. Hello, Miss Celia. Wait, it might be nice if I put on my headphones. That would be needed. Then I can hear this lovely buzzing sound. My name is Espoir. I didn't see the point in resisting in this position. For a moment, she just kept looking at me, appraising. Good. She walked in front of the desk and tapped it gently with her nail. You were very expensive. So I'm expecting you to perform. Just do as you're told. It isn't that hard. If you're good, you get to live. I'll bring you food and take care of you. If you're not, then you suffer. Simple. Suddenly, the sound of a phone alert dinged. She turned around and started rapidly tapping at her phone. Fluffing moron. My gaze wandered around the old dirty room. It definitely looks like it was abandoned. My eyes locked onto a dark stain by my feet. What the fluff? That was definitely blood. My attention was snapped away from the stained carpet as I heard her hiss a string of curses under her breath. All right. Apparently I have to go babysit some man-children at work. I have to go. Wait! I think there's been some kind of mistake. I didn't sign up for this. I was kidnapped. That's not my problem. Now shut up. I'll be back later. She stepped towards the door. What? You're just gonna leave me like this? Tied to this table leg? I pulled at the handcuffs. If you're a good little mouse, then maybe we'll get you somewhere more comfortable next time, She pulled open the door. And then she was gone. I stood away from the window, readying myself. Ooh. Then I ran at the window and hurled the cabinet at the glass. It was jarring to suddenly hear something so loud. Once I gathered myself, I checked the door. Sure enough, the glass was completely shattered. I carefully peered through the open window into the hallway beyond. This is definitely some kind of abandoned office building. A place like this, I would feel it's haunted. I reached through the open hole to the handle on the other side. I sighed in relief when I felt a simple turning lock. I flipped it and opened the door with a soft creak. Then I walked into the hallway. So in this ending, we're going to get shot down, so we're not going to have much time to enjoy ourselves.
Why are you out of your cage?
I bashed out the door and just kind of fell asleep on the floor. What the heck? I was startled awake by the sound of her voice. What are you doing out here? I'm kind of dumb. Wait, does she have a gun? Oh no! Don't move. Lady, what do you think I'm gonna do? Wait! I said don't move! The force and noise knocked me backwards. Rude. Didn't you say I was very expensive and you're just gonna blow me? Okay. I fell to the ground as my body began to register the pain. Ma'am? The sound of her approach was lost to the blood pounding in my ears. I reached down to clutch at the wound on my thigh. I blearily tried to hold it as blood poured from the wound. What? Why are you bleeding so much? Miss Celia, people tend to bleed when you shoot them. You have very lovely earrings. Where'd you get those, JCPenney? Oh yeah, I'm dying. My leg was beginning to feel cold. Panic was slowing my thoughts down. No, no, no! I only shot you in the leg. Stop bleeding! I paid for you! You're not allowed to die unless I make you. You belong to me. Ma'am, as flattered as I am, you need to know that people usually bleed when you shoot them, and when they bleed too much, which could be any part of the body, they will cease to be. Are you a dummy? Oh yeah, again, I'm dying. The cold feeling was spreading. I couldn't seem to lift my arms. I couldn't see or feel much anymore. But I could still hear her. That's actually pretty funny. Gosh darn it. No, why are you bleeding so much? Why are you bleeding so much? I only shot you. Ma'am! Okay, let's see what the you fought and lost ending was. I pressed the key into the lock of the door at the end of the lounge. To my surprise, it easily went all the way in. Yeah! Holy crap! This is the right key. I slowly opened the door. I tentatively entered the room. Definitely an office. It's cleaner, though. Someone's been in here. I stopped in place as I noticed something out of place. A picture of a man, printed out and blown up. And darts in it. Celia must use this room. And she must really hate whoever that man is. Something about this room made me feel really nervous. But she might be keeping something useful in here. Search through the storage. I started going through the office storage. A lot of empty drawers. So far, nothing I can actually use. Whoa! In a drawer by itself, there was a black device. This is definitely a taser. It's the kind you have to touch someone with. I tentatively pressed the button. Nothing. I checked over it and popped the back open. No batteries. I huffed in annoyance, while I'm still keeping it. Searching the filing cabinets. I rummaged through the cabinets. I flipped through piles of old paper. Aha! A pile of batteries. God, I hope these still have some charge. I grabbed the newest looking ones and slipped them into the taser. I clicked it closed and prayed as I held my finger over the button. My prayers were answered, with a crack and a flash of light. However, this isn't gonna go very well. Yes! Well, it says stay here and then, get her. I tried to keep my mind from wandering. What the heck does this woman, Celia, even want with me? Why is she doing this? My forehead hit the desk with a light thud. There's nothing I can do to figure any of this out. I was startled awake by the sound of the door opening. It was her again, and she didn't look happy. As she walked in, I could tell something was wrong. Her calculating expression sent a shiver up my neck. Well, she stepped closer. It seems you've been busy. What is she talking about? I don't think I left anything, did I? I began to sweat. Wait, can I get her? Can I get her? Can I tase her? How do I tase her? Where's the tase button? Stand up straight. I wasn't sure if it was fear or hesitation, but I failed to move for a moment. Ah, not the blicky! My heart immediately began pounding as I saw her slowly pull out a pistol. I stood up straight. What did I do? Strip. I balked. What? I don't like repeating myself. No, but I like my little clothes. She aimed the gun at my legs. Crap, crap, crap! Get her! Two can play at that game. Oh wait, I already know I'm going to lose. I made a motion as if I was removing my jacket, discreetly finding the taser in the pocket. Ha! Taste my lightning, fluffer! I whipped around and slammed the taser into her chest. Her knees buckled, and she stumbled backwards. She wasn't able to speak through the shock, but her expression said more than enough. Ooh, you mad, sis? You mad? Only one of us is getting out of this. I pressed the taser against her, listening to clicks and watching her convulse. She crumpled downwards, dropping her gun. For a moment, I felt a wave of satisfaction. I kept the weapon on her, refusing to let up. I was nearly on top of her when I realized the clicking had stopped. It's already out? Dang it! I felt her twitch. I have to think fast. I kicked the gun away from us as she grabbed my arm. She threw me off balance, sending us both to the floor. Gosh dang it! You... All traces of poise and flawless presentation were gone. Oh no, now it is me who will be gotten. I was so focused on the gun, I hadn't realized that she grabbed my taser. Ugh. Did she taser whip me? I had no time to flinch as she smashed it to the side of my head. Fluffing animal! My ears were ringing. I reeled from the blow. She whipped it onto my face again, with even more force. I couldn't think. I groaned and shielded my face. She had stopped beating me with the spent taser. Then I looked again, and my blood ran cold. Gosh darn it! She had the gun again, looming over me. I felt the barrel press against my neck. I couldn't do anything but stare. Rude! I mean, I got you good, though. I got you good. for a little while. Why is the next ending, you got a taste of your own medicine? What medicine am I dealing out? Try the door by the elevator? I moved the handle on the door. It's unlocked. Yippee! I entered the room and looked around. This must be some kind of break room, or at least it used to be. Wait. I focused on the sink at the side of the room. Water! I quickly ran up and turned the tap. Nothing. Dang it! I guess no one is paying for plumbing here. I sighed and sat down. Search the cabinets. I opened the cabinets. Paper plates and plastic cutlery, and a lot of garbage. I stopped at the cabinet under the sink. Various cleaners. Wait a minute. I double-checked a box in the back. Rat poison. Wait a minute. Oh no. Oh no. What's this ending called again? I thought hard for a moment. Is this gonna backfire on me royally? Celia, you're entering strayed levels of annoyance. I pulled out a packet of powder. I might be able to use this. This desk looks recently used. I checked the desk drawers. Papers, money, makeup. I briefly considered the cash, but money isn't going to help me here. Oh, wait. At the back, there was a bottle of expensive-looking brandy and an empty flask. I pulled the bottle out. Use the rat poison? Oh dear, this is gonna backfire, isn't it? I pulled out the small packet of powder. This might actually work. I carefully opened the packet and poured the powder into the bottle. I let out the breath I'd been holding. Now all I can do is wait. So it also says that sometimes you can lock that door back up? Uh-oh. Mommy's coming. So it says you can lock the door, so she probably saw that it was unlocked, and now she's gonna give me. I woke up to the sound of the door slamming open. You! Eep! Ma'am! I had no time to react before something hard slammed into the side of my head. I fell to my knees, then the floor. My ears were ringing. She hit me with a flask. Oh. Whoops. Ma'am. Oh, were you having a bad time? You think I don't know what you did? She held me down and coughed violently. Yeah. That was me. She grabbed my throat and slammed it. I tried to pull her hand away. I feel like I could probably take Celia. She may be crazy. I think I could take her, though. But my head was still throbbing, and I couldn't focus. I couldn't breathe. Stop struggling! I desperately grabbed at her arm. Suddenly, her hand left my throat. I gasped and... Is she... Oh, okay. As she shoved the flask into my mouth. I convulsed as the liquid filled my throat and my lungs. I heard her laughing as I coughed and sputtered. It felt like liquid fire spreading inside of me. I clawed at her as her laughter turned into coughing too. Oh, we're both not having a good time. No, you're coming with me. I could feel her shaking and weakening over me. Oh, okay, so we're both going out. All right. At least I'm taking you with me. Fluff this place and these people. You're mine. She held my face. You'll always be. She collapsed on top of me, and I wheezed. It was harder to cough. The pain was fading. I could feel her still. She wasn't breathing anymore. Aww. Oh, wait. I didn't have the strength to move at all. Well? At least she drunk it too. So instead of doing this ending, where I think the good stuff happens, I'll save the good stuff for later. Let's die more horribly. What is you ate your mistake? Ooh. So, stay in the room where I broke the glass until she comes back? Okay. What the heck? She flew around the corner into the room, fuming. What did you do to the door?
I broke it.
Before I could say anything, I was staring down the barrel of her gun. So, I tried to step back as she approached. You're a crap disturber, huh? She moved quickly with smooth strides, closing the distance between us. With the gun pointed directly at my face, I was frozen up. Why? All I did was break a window, woman. Ma'am, I swear you are so difficult to please. Well, I mean, I'd fallen to my knees in shock. Am I alive? She didn't shoot me? I had just barely begun to realize that she took the shot right beside my head to stun me. My body seized up as my back was tased. Ah! I fell to the floor. I could just barely hear her voice. Mother fluffers! They said you were docile. Ma'am? So me a defective. Ma'am! I groaned as I felt the floor move under me. Still with me? Ugh! A sharp kick to the side brought me coughing back into full consciousness.
Are you gonna put that glass in my mouth? Are you gonna make me eat glass?
I'm not done with you. You might be garbage, but I'm gonna get my money's worth one way or another. Something pressed my head to the floor. The broken glass from the door dug into my face. Ah! You're going to eat your mistake.
What? Aw, man.
I realized it was her foot on my head, and it pushed again. You heard me.
The glass?
I can't. Ma'am, I don't think you realize that the human body was not meant to consume glass. I know that's the point. She let out an exasperated sigh. You can. And you will. The taser jabbed into the back of my neck again. I couldn't feel anything for a moment. I couldn't think straight. A sharp pain in my throat brought me back once more. I slowly became more aware of shards of glass being shoved into my mouth. Adrenaline surged as I tried to scream. The motion just constricted my throat around the shards. Ooh! Blood sprayed from my mouth as I tried to spit out the glass. I couldn't move my arms. Her hand shoved more glass at my face. I jerked away and kept trying to cough or spit it out. More blood. You're making a mess. I tried to beg, but everything just caused more damage. More blood. The pain was too much. Nothing in my body seemed to work from the shock. I began to choke on blood and shards. Oh, having trouble breathing? Every time I tried to take a breath in, more blood and pain filled my chest. I have to admit, you were pretty cute, though. I can't breathe. The pain finally began to subside as I felt my body twitching. I never heard her walk away. Well, rude. Ugh, you were caught in the elevator. Uh-oh. Try the elevator, where we're going to get caught in the elevator. Just like, oh, hi, Celia. Oh, hi. Wait, what are you doing here? I approached the elevator. The lights are all on. This should be working. I pressed the up arrow. I heard something. My heart started hammering as the elevator doors opened in front of me. I rushed inside. It was surprisingly clean compared to the rest of what I've seen. 8 floors, 3 basements. Ugh. I looked up above the door. Apparently I'm on basement 1. No wonder I haven't seen any windows. I pressed the button for ground floor. I jumped at the loud beep. What? A light was flashing next to a slot. A card slot. Aw, man. No, 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 no. I frantically tried the other buttons, even the second basement. Everything just made the light flash. I groaned in defeat. This fluffing thing won't go anywhere without some kind of key card. Well, it says stay in the elevator until it moves. I was startled awake by the sound of a mechanical ding. Before I could react, the elevator began to move. What the heck? I watched the numbers light up, my heart pounding as I saw the display light up for the ground floor. In the single second between the chime and the doors opening, my mind raced.
Hi, Celia! Fancy meeting you here. Hi!
The door slid open, and all my hope drained out. Well, I mean, this could work. This could work. You just kind of give her like a and then like run. Like you're on the ground floor. If she chases after you, it's gonna look suspicious. So you just like nudge her. You just like punt her out of the way. She's clearly shocked. Just book it. This could work. It's not gonna work though. The door slid open, and all my hope drained out. We stood motionless, facing each other for a single moment that seemed to stretch. Okay, never mind, unless she has a knife. Why do you just have that out? What? I fell back into the elevator floor. She... I gasped, fruitlessly for air. What did you think you were doing? How did you even get out of that room? My mouth moved, trying to form a response. I coughed, and blood filled my throat. I guess it doesn't matter anymore. Her voice was sounding far away. I could tell now that I was passing out. You've been a pain from the start. I guess it's time to put you down and start over. Ma'am! I felt sharp metal against my throat. Isn't there going to be a bunch of blood in the elevator? And you try to keep me a secret, but whatever. I couldn't scream as it separated my flesh. I could only lie there as my own warm blood pooled around my face. Hey, at least you were impressed. Oh dear, now what? Let's see, go to the office and search the floor. I checked around the office floor. It's actually pretty clean in here. There's pretty much nothing on the floor. Huh? There's something going up the wall behind the bookcase. I grabbed the bookcase and shoved it to the side. A door! Oh, snap! I looked down. With a keypad, I could feel my heart rate increasing. If she took this much care to hide this, it must be the way out. I wonder how would I find out the number pad if I wasn't using a walkthrough? Somehow I knew the code. Oh? It worked! I suppose it was a lucky guess. I opened the door and stepped into darkness. Where are you supposed to get that code from? Wait, what's this ending called again? You were strung up? Oh dear. Stairs. My excitement died in my throat. Down. Well, whatever's down there, she worked hard to hide it. I have to check it out. I descended the stairs and turned the corner. Oh, this room. This is the room where we had our happy fun time in the last video. What the fluff? I froze and stared. A tarp? Blood? And whatever the heck was going on with those mannequins. What has she been doing down here? Yeah, Celia, what's your deal, sis? That's what I should call this video. What's your deal, sis? Wait until you hear a beep sound and then go back upstairs. Okay, this isn't gonna be fun. I thought I heard something. Go back upstairs. I walked back up the stairs to the door. It's closed. Uh-oh.
Wah!
Oh! I hit the ground with a horrifying crack. I could barely process what happened. Ooh, she was there. She kicked me down the stairs. Oh, snap! Funny meeting you here, sis. Oh no. So, Are you going to tell me what you thought you were doing down here? Snooping. I couldn't answer. I could barely breathe. The pain from the fall had spread through my body in waves until they felt strong enough to choke me. A terrified croaking sound escaped me, instead as I saw my twisted ankle. Ooh, that's definitely broken. I watched as she sauntered across the room. Do you know what I use this room for? Yeah, I do, but Espoir in the game at this point doesn't. She grabbed what looked like a bright red rope from a shelf. I tried to move, to get up, but it just sent a new white-hot wave of pain up my legs. She tied the rope and walked over to me. I could do nothing but whimper in agony as she bent down to lower the loop of the rope around my neck. Come on. Hey! I screamed in pain as she suddenly grabbed my legs and dragged me awkwardly into the center of the room. Phew. All right. This part is probably going to hurt. I watched in horror as she tossed the rope up a few times, finally getting it through a pulley screwed into the ceiling. Aw, man, I thought we were gonna have more fun time. All right, I guess. She can't be... Up. She pulled the rope down, hard. Lady, how much do you weigh? Like what, 110 pounds? The noose pulled me up by my neck. I grabbed at it in a panic as another scream was stunted by the rope. My weight was shifted to my broken ankle. I couldn't focus through the pain. I think she attached the rope to something. Oh, okay, because I was just thinking, your scrawny little body isn't going to be able to lift me. As my feet left the floor, I was choking completely. She's going to hang me? Rude. That is not cash money, sis. I gasped in a breath as I felt a chair slide under my injured legs. That's better. I struggled painfully as she admired her handiwork, panting slightly from the effort. What are you going to do, lady? Paint me or something? I couldn't take the weight off of my throbbing ankle without strangling myself. Ooh, that's a. See, her shenanigans are tragic and awful, but Strayd's shenanigans are cheeky and troll-like. This is artwork, what you're doing here, madam. You have a whole setup. I applaud you if I weren't going to die. You seem to be having trouble. She's enjoying this. But you don't think I'll just let you hang there like that, do you? No. She grabs something else from a shelf. Oh no! You're not getting off that easy. She wound up, and a whip cracked on my body. Okay, Indiana Jones. I cried out as she grinned. Looks like I still know how to use it. Or actually, are you a dominatrix that, had to settle down with a boring husband? She landed another stinging lash across my torso. I tried to scream, cry, or even beg, but it was a struggle just to breathe. Oh, she's so silly. Come on, don't fall. I can't keep my legs. My knees buckled out from under me. Hey, we're not done. Lady, what did you expect was gonna happen? Again, are you stupid? I got a broken ankle. All I gotta do is not worry about my broken ankle and I'm gone. I could hear her begin to yell, but I couldn't make out the words anymore. I got strung up. That was artful, lady. What horrible thing is next? What is, you ran out of time? Ooh. Okay, back in this lovely room again.
What does it say? It says to search the floor.
Search the floor. I started to look around the disturbing room. There's so many stains. I shook my head. I need to concentrate. There was a lot of junk around, but it was hard to imagine being able to use any of it. I nearly gave up before a small glint caught my eye. I went back over to a pile of junk in a corner. It's a spool of wire. I bent down to pick it up. I pulled a bit off the roll. This is really strong and sharp. Ooh. Are we gonna be like Walter from Helsing? I think I might be able to use this. I slowly woke up, groaning in pain. Is it me, or does it look extra red in here? I must have passed out. I looked around at the familiar room. I'm back here. Well, now the fun part of this walkthrough happens because, you got to do all that to me, ma'am. I get to have some fun with you. Okay, use the wire by clicking on the inventory tab. I pulled out the spool of wire. Unraveling a bit, I watched the light glint off of it. It's strong and hard to see. The idea for a trap quickly took shape in my mind. The door frame is metal. I crouched down to take a look. Screws. I pulled out the office key and used it to loosen the screws on either side of the door frame. Smart. Now I have something to tie the wire to. I twisted the wire around one protruding screw, then the other. I bent the wire back and forth and used the key to cut it off. I was sweating from the effort by the time I finished, but this looks like a really good trap. The wire, only inches off the floor across the doorway, was tough to spot. There's no way she'd notice it while she tried to enter the room. She'll trip, for sure, and when she does... I chewed my lip. Well, one step at a time. I was startled by a low mechanical hum. After listening for a moment, I realized it must be the elevator. I moved to the corner of the room and waited. I could hear a voice. Wait, 2 voices? They sounded angry. Shouting. One was definitely Celia, but the others sounded like a man. I flinched back as they got closer. I watched, stunned, as the door flew open and a large man tripped on the wire I set for Celia. Ha ha! Ha ha! Take that, Harold! He smashed into the floor with a loud thud. I looked up and saw Celia behind him, for a moment just as stunned as I was. She took a step back into the doorway. There's no way past her. Dang it, this would have worked if they both weren't there. I have to think fast. I leapt on top of the man and pulled out the rest of my wire. Good job! I wrapped it around his neck and turned back to her. What is this? I could say a gift. I think that's a different ending. A hostage. Don't come any closer or I'll kill him. Just let me go. She stared incredulously for a moment before cracking into a laugh. You think I'm worried about Harold? Please, by all means, do kill him.
You, her, biscuit!
The man bucked under me. I tightened the wire in response. What am I doing? Good question. What am I doing? What am I supposed to be doing now? She's unfazed. He began to thrash in panic and make gurgling noises. I looked back at her. I think about offing him. He seems like a jerk, but, I'm gonna get 2 more CGs if I spare him. I can't do this. I just want them pictures. I just want to unlock those pictures. I don't know what I'm doing. I dropped the spool of wire and tried to scramble off the man's back. Pain shot through my body. Oh no, I got shanked! My back. She was behind me, and the blade of a knife was buried between my shoulders. Sorry, mouse. I lurched forward as she slid the knife out of my flesh. I coughed and tasted blood filling my mouth. He called the police. I wavered as I saw her grasp his hair and pull up his head. Well, what are you gonna do now, lady? He screamed defiantly as she quickly slit his throat. Ha? I don't know. She unceremoniously dropped his head back into the floor. I couldn't make sense of anything. What was happening? Celia, explain! Blood was spreading on the floor. I coughed and more warm liquid filled my mouth. I collapsed next to the dying man. I can't stay here anymore. I tried to talk, tried to do anything. I couldn't move. Only more blood came from my throat. I could feel her hand on my back. For what it's worth, It was fun while it lasted. Celia, I thought we had something special. You ran out of time. Well, fine, that's what I wanted. I wanted that ending anyway, so there. Oh boy, the work that is put into this game, gosh darn. So the ending, "You were cleaned up," is in the other video. If I hadn't put that wire down, her husband would have came in and shot me. Let's see, now we get into the fun endings. What's "You became her broken toy"? What does that entail? So for this ending, it says you have to get your sanity to 0. And there's obvious ways to do it, but this was kind of an accident, so let's get drank! I carefully opened the bottle. I tilted it back and swallowed a mouthful. I jerked back slightly as the burn spread down my throat. That stuff is strong. It was somehow a little comforting, though. Wait, is that making my sanity go up or down? I took another few swigs. The burn was strong now, and the buzz of inebriation slowed my thoughts down. Oh, golly. So we gotta get the sanity to 0. Alright, shots it is! Drink it up! Drink it up! Burns. Oh geez, even the hum gets louder. Just the little details in this game. Good gracious. Alright, this should be the last swig. Something in me seemed to break. I began to sob uncontrollably. I couldn't stop myself. I curled into a ball and screamed, "I can't take this anymore!" I don't know how long I stayed that way. I couldn't move. I could hardly breathe. When I finally heard her approach me, I felt an odd sense of relief. "How did you get out here? What the heck is going on with you? Just kill me already!" I completely broke down and began to sob again. I was practically screaming. I nearly choked as my body was racked with despair. I think it's time for you to go downstairs." I wasn't listening, and I didn't notice her pulling out a small syringe. "Shh. This will help you feel better." "Huh? I'm too drinky drunk to care." My head was pounding. I can't talk. The pain in my head. My mouth. I opened my mouth, and a shaking finger confirmed my fear. Blood. My tongue. It's gone. Oh, snap! Tears rolled down my aching cheeks. I tried to move. I couldn't stand. With a wave of dread, I realized that a metal cage surrounded me. Beyond my cage was a tarp and bloodstains. A terrible chill ran down my spine. This is not a good place to be. I tried to move to get a better look, but a jolt of pain from my ankles distracted me. I inspected the sore area and balked. My mutilated mouth could only express my terror with a muffled moan. Crude stitches held a gash at the back of each of my ankles closed. "Oh, well, geez, lady." I tried to move my feet and began to panic when I couldn't. She cut something. I can't move my feet. Oh, God, I can't walk. "Oh, geez, lady." I let out the closest thing to a scream that I could. The panic exploded, and I grabbed the bars of the cage. I pulled and cried in anguish. They didn't budge at all. The sound of slow footsteps on the nearby stairs told me I had alerted my captor. She sauntered to my cage and smiled down at me. "Sorry, honey, but bad little mice get the snip." She let out a quiet, cruel laugh. "I suppose it was irresponsible to leave you loose. I should have kept a better eye on you. But that won't be a problem anymore. From now on, you can stay down here." She took time to look over my body. I like how it's all blurry, probably because I'm so drinky drunk. She seemed satisfied with her work. I moaned in protest and rattled the cage. "Oh, careful now. Your stitches need to heal up." I looked down. How could anyone do this? "I know you're upset now, but I'm sure you'll adjust. Every minute of every single day, you'll be in there, waiting for me." She paused, looking over me again. "Eventually, you'll learn to appreciate it. You'll beg for me, and I'll take good care of you."
Okay.
The days went by, and all of her words came true. Sometimes she came with food and supplies, and sometimes she came with blades and a cruel smile. But just like she promised, I began to beg for her. As days stretched into weeks, the loneliness became maddening. Even when she tortured me, I craved her attention. She was the only living thing in the dead world of my metal cage. I became an animal for her. In that dark, deep basement, nothing else mattered. I forgot about the rest of the world. I would never see it again. Jeez! You lived! Feel like these end cards are mocking me. You became her broken toy. Oh boy, I was expecting it to be here. I didn't expect it to be here. That was... My goodness, lady. Right, where's "you left her behind"? I like the way that one sounds. Okay, the walkthrough says this one's kind of a hard one. The "you left her behind" ending. Head to the elevator and search the area. I checked all over the small area. Not much to see in here. I closely examined the elevator button's panel. It has one of those little holes. Wait. Eh? Oh, yeah. I grabbed the pin from my pocket. Come on. I pressed the pin in and felt a pop. The front panel of the buttons came right off. Before I could look at the wiring, I was distracted by a piece of paper. What the heck? I carefully pulled out and unfolded the paper. Oh, that's how you would figure that out. Neat. 0247? Is this blood? I'm guessing this is probably the previous person. I stared at the paper. I have no idea what this means. Cool. I folded it up and put it in my pocket. Find my good buddy spool of wire? Okay, looks like somebody is about to get got. From my place against the wall, I heard the telltale clack of shoes on the floor outside the room. My heart raced as I moved to the wall beside the door. It was like being on autopilot. I set the trap, right? I held my breath, trying to listen through the pounding heartbeat in my ears. The click of the knob turning.
Ah! Ma'am!
She crashed ungracefully to the floor. That's what I want. That's what we're all here for. She didn't manage to break her fall at all. She was groaning in pain, but my focus was on the shining rectangle that slipped from her pocket. Oh yeah! Beside her sprawled body was a keycard. For a split second, I stood there as she was stunned into silence. So attacking is a different ending, but right now I want to run! I sprung into action and snatched the card. Yeah! Get back here! No! I moved faster than I have ever in my life. See you later, suckers! I sprinted through the hallway and to the elevator. I slammed the button repeatedly, slipping into the opening door. I slid the card into the slot. Please, please, please work! I heard her groaning in the other room. The light turned green. I heard the clack of a shoe. I pressed the ground floor button with the frequency of a hummingbird's wing beat. I don't think that actually does anything. I heard her moan in pain and stumble into the hallway. Uh-oh. I pressed the closed door button over and over. Please! The doors began to move. No! 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 She stumbled into view. Oh no! No! Ooh, ma'am, you're kind of trapped down there now, aren't you? Got him. Should have laughed maniacally as I was going up the elevator. Ha! I stared at the closed doors. The sound of her fists pounding on the other side faded into the sound of my own heartbeat pounding on the inside of my head. I did it! The door opened into a dark, empty office building. I took the keycard and ran forward towards the light. I burst out from the glass entrance door and into the streetlight. Fresh air, rain, the sound of other human beings, the real world. I'm free. I ran out into the night. Woohoo! You left her behind. You were like, how does my dust taste, Celia? Oh, that was very satisfying. Very, very satisfying. Most satisfying. Okay, so the other ending is, you killed for your freedom, so, guess you won't be banging on that elevator door. Attack! I didn't think. I just moved. I jumped onto her back and pulled out the wire spool. Oh yeah, I still have that. Look, wait! I saw flecks of blood on the floor in front of her face. Not doing so well, sis? I pulled a length of cord and yanked it up under her neck. Not having a good time? I felt her entire body stiffen under me with panic. She scrambled desperately as I pushed my knee into her back and pulled harder on the wire. I think she was trying to scream. I pulled so hard that the wire was cutting into the flesh of my own hands. I didn't care. She thrashed under me like an animal. She couldn't seem to make any sound. I could see blood on her neck and her fingers as she tried to pull the wire away. The only sound was the dull thudding of her writhing and my hoarse breathing. It felt like I was an animal too. I used all my strength, fueled by my own fear and panic. The wire was cutting into both of us. The thudding became quieter, and the struggle became easier. But I didn't ease up. I pulled the wire as her resistance waned, through her fingers and into her vulnerable neck. I kept pulling. Blood dripped from my hands. Soon, she wasn't moving anymore. Only my panting was left in the room. Still, I kept the wire tight. I stayed there for long minutes after she stopped moving. I had to be sure. I don't know how long I stayed like that. The shaking of my hands caught my eye and brought me back into time. Up! I let out a ragged breath and let go of the wire. I grimaced as I realized the wire wouldn't fall. I pulled it out of my flesh. Ugh. It didn't seem to hurt. I looked past my bleeding hands. She's dead. Well, I stumbled backwards off of her. She's dead. I shakily got to my feet after a couple of failed tries. God, I killed her. I killed her. There's blood everywhere. The card. I spotted the white card that fell from her pocket. I snatched it off the ground and held it. My hands smeared red all over it. I closed my eyes for a moment and then began to move. I walked through the hallway to the elevator. I carefully slipped the card into the key slot. The light turned green. I slowly pushed the button for the ground floor. The doors closed and the elevator moved. I was moving. I was leaving. A small tone sounded and I left the elevator. I walked into the dark, abandoned office building. I walked towards the light. Slowly, I pushed open one last door, and I was outside. The streetlight shimmered as rain fell on my face. I'm outside. The sound of the busy street was surreal. I turned and walked down the street as the blood was slowly washed from my hands. Yippee! I lived, but now I am changed forever. You killed for your freedom. Don't start nothing, won't be nothing, sis. Okay, so going back to when I got Harold all tied up, instead of saying a hostage, a gift for you, sis. I remember that special time we had. I'll kill him for you. I looked back at her. I don't even know who he is. The man bucked under me. I tightened the wire in response. She's like, oh, snap? What am I doing? He began to thrash and panic and make gurgling noises.
Do it!
Do it. Her command rang through me. I ran on instinct. I pulled on the wire until my hands bled. He was trying to scream, but he couldn't. He was big, but he wasn't flexible. The wire was digging into his throat, and he couldn't do anything to shake me off his back. I could feel her watching me. My hands were steady. Are we gonna be like a cute little Bonnie and Clyde, but like murdering couple? It seemed easier with someone commanding me. I was just following an order. His struggling grew weaker, but I kept the wire tight. After a while, he was only twitching under me. I couldn't feel my fingers. Oh! He slumped to the floor. That's a nice watch, brah. You're not gonna need it no more, right? I began to turn back to her. Ma'am! Pain shot through my body. My back. She was behind me, and her knife was lodged in my back. Oh wait, did I do something wrong? Probably. I'm sorry, Espoir. I lurched forward from the pain. I know. I coughed and tasted blood filling my mouth. He called the police. I have to go. I tried to talk, tried to do anything. I couldn't move. Did I do it wrong? Dang it! Only more blood came from my throat. I could feel her arms around me. For what it's worth, it was fun while it lasted. Dang it! Dang it! Oh, I ran out of time. Well, shoot. Wasn't that what I was supposed to do?
2,000 years later.
Finally? That took forever. Thank you, Vocal Blank on Steam, for putting in all the stuff that you need to make Celia like you to get this ending, because it took me forever. I turned back to look at her. She was shaking. Celia? You did it. He's actually dead. I felt dizzy. What now? The police are already coming. If you're still here, you can't stay. She extended her hand. I pulled the bloody wire from my hands, and I shakily reached out for her. She pulled me onto my unsteady feet. We killed him together. She was breathing hard. She pulled me along by the hand like a child. We have to go. We reached the elevator, and I watched her use a keycard. I'm actually leaving this building. It seems so surreal to be walking through the ground floor with her. I could see the streetlights outside through the windows. She let go of my hand and looked me in the eyes.
Are we gonna have a special moment?
I can't stay here. They're going to find out what happened, so I need to disappear. I watched her face as she battled with some internal decision. By the time they find out it was me, I'll be long gone. You have to get out of here. No one will ever know you were involved.
Okay.
Goodbye, Celia. What we had was special. I wasn't going to think twice. I nodded once and pushed the office building's door open. I ran out into the street filled with street noise and rain. I kept running as long as I could, and I never looked back.
Yippee! I was released!
But I had to leave Celia behind.
Yay, I did it! Hoo-hoo!
To get this ending, you have to take a little swig before you do it. So instead of Celia being on the run and we go our separate ways, why don't you stay? Or why don't I stay? I want to stay with you. You're not just sis. You're bae. She stiffened in shock. What? Well, you have money, right? We could run together. We could start over together. I thought I could see an extra shine in her eye through her confusion. But what about... I don't want to go back to my old life. Please, let me come with you. This makes no sense. This is insane. Yeah, I had to lower my sanity just to get this ending. I'm the one that killed him. We both have to run. We can figure the rest out later. I bit my lip and reached out. I held her hand in my own, ignoring the cuts from the wire. She looked down at the blood between our fingers. Okay. We'll run. Obtained a girlfriend! Yay! Best ending? No, I think burning down Mason's house was the best ending. You lived, and you got a girlfriend! Yay! Oh! How are these so adorable? Yay! I got shot, I got stripped, I got strung up, I became a broken toy, but I got a girlfriend! Yay! Yippee! Finally! Jeez! These last two endings were so hard to get because there's some other questions you had to answer, specific ways you had to answer just to get her to like you. I like this ending. That is now the canon ending. That is the true ending. Well, thank you so much for watching, and thank you even more for the support. I hope you enjoyed this playthrough, and I will see you in the next one.